In February 2007, Uganda woke up to shocking news. One of the country's largest banks, Stanbic Bank, had been the victim of a heist so daring and meticulously planned that it sent shockwaves across the nation. Over 1.8 billion Ugandan shillings were stolen in broad daylight, leaving the police and citizens stunned. It was a robbery that revealed not just the greed of a few, but also deep flaws in the country's banking security systems. This is the story of betrayal, greed, and one critical mistake that brought the masterminds to justice. Stanbic Bank was one of the most trusted banks in Uganda, known for its robust security protocols and professionalism. At the heart of this institution were trusted employees who handled millions of shillings daily. But what the bank didn't know was that a few of its employees had been plotting for months to break into the system they were entrusted to protect. It all started with James Otim, not his real name, a senior bank employee who had access to the vaults. For months, James, along with two other colleagues, secretly planned the heist with the help of three outsiders. The outsiders were career criminals experienced in evading law enforcement, and together they created a seemingly foolproof plan. The team carefully monitored the bank's cash transfer schedules, vault combinations, and security personnel's routines. The plan was simple yet dangerous. Wait for the perfect moment during a cash transfer and take everything. But they knew one thing. This could only work if no one talked and no mistakes were made. On February 25, 2007, the day of the heist, the criminals put their plan into motion. It was a Sunday, a day when banking operations were limited and the vaults held extra cash from the weekend deposits. Using their inside connections, the team gained access to the bank after working hours. James ensured that security cameras were conveniently malfunctioning during the operation. The criminals, dressed in security uniforms, walked into the bank unnoticed by the few guards on duty. Once inside, they bypassed the initial locks using the codes provided by James. Then, they used brute force to break into the main vault. The money, stacked in neat piles, was packed into bags and loaded into a waiting vehicle outside. The entire operation took less than 40 minutes, and the criminals made their escape into the night, leaving behind what they thought was no evidence. By the time Monday morning came, the bank staff discovered the robbery. Panic spread as the vault was found emptied of over 1.8 billion shillings. Uganda's Criminal Investigation Department, CID, was immediately called in. The scale of the robbery and the precision with which it was executed raised one glaring question. How did the robbers know so much about the bank's inner workings? Detectives quickly realized that this was an inside job. The first break in the case came when they reviewed the bank's employee records and discovered unusual activity around the time of the heist. James and his two colleagues, who were normally diligent workers, had taken unexplained absences in the days following the robbery, but it was a fingerprint left on the getaway vehicle that became the smoking gun. The robbers had abandoned the vehicle in a remote area, believing it would never be traced back to them. What they hadn't accounted for was that one of them had carelessly touched the door handle without gloves. When the vehicle was found, forensics matched the print to one of the outside collaborators, a known criminal who had been on the police radar for years. With the fingerprint evidence in hand, the CID tracked down the suspect. Under intense questioning, he confessed and revealed the identities of his accomplices, including James and the other bank employees. Over the next 2 weeks, police conducted a series of dramatic arrests across Kampala and surrounding areas. James was caught trying to flee to Kenya, while his colleagues were arrested in their homes. The outsiders, who had been enjoying their newfound wealth, were apprehended at luxury hotels where they had been hiding out. When the case went to trial, the details shocked the nation. Evidence showed that the employees had used their insider knowledge to bypass security systems, and the robbers had meticulously planned every step. However, their greed had made them sloppy. Aside from the fingerprint, police found that one of the robbers had deposited a large sum of cash into a bank account, raising red flags with financial regulators. The robbery left a stain on Stanbic Bank's reputation. Customers demanded answers, and the bank was forced to overhaul its security protocols to regain public trust. Meanwhile, the suspects were convicted and sentenced to lengthy prison terms, but only a portion of the stolen money was ever recovered. The rest remains unaccounted for to this day, fueling rumors that some of the loot might still be hidden. The Stanbic Bank heist remains one of Uganda's most infamous crimes. It exposed the vulnerabilities in banking systems and highlighted the dangers of placing blind trust in employees. For many Ugandans, it was a reminder that even the most secure institutions can fall victim to betrayal and greed. While the criminals thought they had orchestrated the perfect crime, one careless fingerprint unraveled their elaborate plan and brought them to justice. This heist serves as a cautionary tale, a lesson that no matter how carefully a crime is planned, even the smallest mistake can bring it all crashing down.